I saw this article yesterday and I thought it was worth talking about. So Ray and I were discussing it during the Daily Dish. So now we want to bring you into the conversation and all of you. A new study says more than 60% of young men right now are single. Nearly twice the rate of unattached young women, signaling, according to the research, a breakdown in the social, romantic, and sexual life of the American male. So what is happening? This psychology professor says we're in a crisis of connection, especially when it comes to men. Disconnection from ourselves and disconnection from each other, and it is getting worse. This author, who wrote a book titled What's Behind the Rise of Lonely Single Men? What's Going On? Says, quote, women don't need to be in long-term relationships anymore. Things are changing. They don't need to be married. They'd rather go to brunch with their friends than have a horrible date.
Yeah, you know what? I just listened to a podcast about the crisis that young men are facing. Maybe this is the same person, but it was really fascinating. And it talks about men who are maybe in their early 30s, kind of around that age, and how hard it is for them to meet women. First of all, we're so isolated with social media. We're indoors, we're on our phones, we're not going out to, bump into somebody face to face. But they also talk about how hard it is for a lot of men on a dating app, because women are only swiping on the most handsome, in shape, put together guys.
Their ideal person.
So many get lost in the shuffle, get no matches, and then they just kind of stay home.
And I think women too, on the other end, they're becoming more independent, or they are independent and they're showing it. They're not just thinking it, they're actually being more independent. I want to go to the brunch with my girlfriends and have meaningful conversations.
A couple more things that are noteworthy. Only half of all single men are actively even seeking relationships, and that figure is declining. So you're right, guys are like, okay, well, I just won't even look. Young women are dating slightly older men, carrying on a tradition that stretches back more than a century. The average age, now this is nationwide, Utah factored in, but I think this is different in our state. Average age for first marriage is now 30 for men and 28 for women, the highest ages that it has been in decades. This author says women are tiring of their stereotypical role as full-time therapists for emotionally distant men. Women now say we want more from men. And unfortunately, a lot of men don't have it to give.
I mean, how much time do we have for this topic? The other part that is interesting, and again, went into this more on the podcast, is that women are surpassing men with their education, with their financial stability, with their success. So it's so uneven with what it used to be. And yeah, women don't need a partner or need a man like maybe they once did. So that's a big factor too. I don't know. I mean, I feel like personally, I'm not looking for that after having been in one long-term relationship after another for so long. I'm really enjoying this time to be with my girlfriends and to do my own thing. So
I think when you look at the numbers, I mean, they're a little more startling. Like you see that in the dating world, but then when you hear it on a podcast and you look at the most recent numbers, that is what's happening. And it's interesting, more women are coupled up than men. Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
But the younger guys, especially, you're right, this is 20s and 30s, are like not partnering up like they have in the past.
So what happens? Is it when they realize in their 40s or later in life? You don't know, but it's interesting to have it written as a study of what I think a lot of us think about anyway.
What podcast did you listen to? Was this Paul Rudd?
No, so this is, I always mention this, I should be like a spokesperson for the Dax Shepard podcast.
Oh, Dax Shepard talked about these numbers. That makes sense.
He's got like 5 different categories, and they come out like different days of the week. And his experts on experts, I think, talked to, I don't remember if it was a psychologist or who it was now. I can post about it, but it was, an expert in this field studying this, looking at the numbers through the years.
Well, we can't pretend to be an expert on men and what they're thinking, but I will say when it comes to women, you're right. That need for independence, I think, is higher than it's ever been.
Yeah, and I like it.
And then you wonder, for men, are they content? Are they satisfied? What is the other result? Are they happy about it? And is that how it will continue to go?
This calls them, quote, lonely.
Yeah. I think I heard the same thing, which again, then that creates a whole new thing with what will it be like for our boys as they get older? I don't know. We'll see.